where my breath is long winter. I breathe now in royalty and reshape this land which is mine. I do this for you, Red Legion. For I...
Our hero claims a warrior's heart.
Hello there, friend. Come to enjoy the sights and sounds of this beautiful sanctuary tonight.
Couldn't possibly be the Dragonborn of legend, could you? You are an elderling sanctuary. Just a small glimpse of what beauty Kinnared has taught. Wonderful place, isn't it? Yes, my friend. Though no one has been able to get close to her for as long as I can remember. As you can see, Eldrigling's roots are large and stretch far, blocking any path to her track. Though, believe it or not, there are rumors of a weapon that even Elderling herself would lift her roots for, more out of fear than respect. The rumors are true. I beg of you, don't harm the tree. Nothing good can come of it.
Wow, have you ever seen anything so amazing? Where are there more people here? Tours must be organized, paintings commissioned. As adventurers, it's our duty to show people this tree. Yes, dispatch the couriers. Have the Jarls make a decree. To each and every citizen of this land, I say, open your eyes and behold its beauty. Ma and Pa fought for the Empire during the Great War. Although I don't see what's so great about it. I'm sure it's over my head. Mother knows best, but Mother Nature, she knows everything. Why yes, I learned how to play the lute when I was little, although I'd much rather play the harp. I'm sure that's what Cabela would want. Oh yes, the water, the animals, the trees, all play with the Cabela mold into indelible art, and at the heart of every explorer is an admirer of that beauty. Until next time. Don't worry about me. I don't need a break. Of course. What do you think all this is? It's more valuable than any gold coin. Now if I find a gold coin, and I do find them often, bags of them in fact, I deliver it straight to the donation bin. I even have a system. For every 10 gold pieces, 7 goes to the temple, 1 goes toward food and shelter, and 1 goes to alms for the poor. Until next time.
You don't know what you're dealing with. There will be consequences if you harm that tree. Leave this place. You're not welcome here anymore. You don't know what you're dealing with. There will be consequences if you harm that tree. Leave this place. You're not welcome here anymore.
roots in the forest
Ow,
will
ow,
feast
ow.
on your body. This forces of the forest come to create. You will be for the destruction cause. Normally the axe can cut the spirit of revenge. No fire flows with you, nourished by your mortal remains. From water, there is no salvation. Swirling outside the natural use me, Mother Nature. Use me as your passive.
I saw my life flash before my eyes. It was much too short. It's awful saving the Gildergreen led to such violence. I only hope Kinnereth can forgive us.
Forces of the forest come to create.
Ah, help me!
The laws of nature follow you guilty, and I will fulfill their mighty will. Flowers will you, nourished by your mortal remains. Normally the axe can cut the spirit of revenge. No fire. The fever. My body burns.
I can't bear it. Make it stop. The pain is so great.
The fever.
It's really great we're friends.
My body
I was
burns.
hoping to find some way to thank you. I hope... It's really great we're friends. I was hoping to find some way to thank you. I hope this does the trick. What can I do for you? Well, yes. Why wouldn't I be? Are you interested in me? It's settled then. Brief as life can be in Skyrim, at least we'll have each other.
Make it stop.
Hello, friend. Lead the way.
So sick. Can hardly stand it.
The pain is so great.
Do you have the Elder Gleam sap? May Kinnereth's winds blow you to fortune. Wonderful. I'll use it to repair the tree. Thank you so much for all your help. I'll gladly share my knowledge with you. Be careful and stay safe.
The fever. My body burns.
Talos the mighty, Talos the unerring, Talos the unassailable. To you we give praise and deserve our praise too. You ascended, and the 8 became 9. You walked among us, great Talos, not as God, but as man. Man, you said, let me show you the power of Talos Stormcrown, born of the north, where my breath is long winter. I breathe now in royalty and reshape this land which is mine. I do this for you, Red Legion, for I love you. I love, love, even as man. We are the children of man. Talos is the true god of man, ascended from flesh to rule the realm of spirit.
Goods and wares of all kinds, and all can be yours.
Are you my gallant hero? Have you come to whisk me away to a life of adventure and romance?
Over here!
Remember, that was your decision. Is someone there?
There you are.
I have to admit, I'm disappointed.
I know I heard something. Just die! It's nothing. Now you'll pay!
Ah, look, a mortal. I see you have discovered my lair. Very well done for a creature of such low wit. Peas for brains and onions for eyes. I dare say you are, if nothing else, a healthy dullard. Well, pea-brain, consider the walls are not for keeping myself in, but for keeping fools out. I am a wisp. Does that answer your question? No? Very well, I shall explain. Essentially, at the core of my being, I am a ghost. Or rather, the imprint of a living soul. I possess the personality and knowledge of the one I represent, but nothing more. Yet, unlike a ghost, I am corporeal. I can touch the world around me just as it can touch me. As for how I came to be, that is its own tale. One of regret, betrayal, but most of all stupidity. I was once the daughter of Hjor, one of the early patrons of the great clan Battleborn. It was the time of Nordic kings, long before Ty the Septim made this land the vanguard of his empire. Yet my father was only a father by blood, and not by name. For my mother was one of the last of the snow elves, and their union was said to be a betrayal of both their people. If my father was to lead the clan to prosperity, my existence could not be known. So I was thrown into this dungeon, left here to rot through countless winters, through wars and famine. I was here as castles crumbled and were built anew, haunting these damp, fetid tunnels, as Olaf built Dragon's Reach and a new dungeon above it. When indeed, mortal, for even now I hardly consider myself dead. In fact, I believe it is that very refusal to die that allowed me to continue wandering this plain. Living in this squalid pit with only the rats to serve as meals, the only motivation I had was to outlive my father. I lived for the day when he lay on his deathbed, summoning me to his chamber in hopes that I would absolve him of his betrayal. The dying always believe they can use their own deaths as a shortcut, a way to receive forgiveness from those they wronged in life. I vowed not to pity him when that moment came. I would spit in his face and let him greet the sun with a glob of milky white hanging from his beard. Only he never gave me the satisfaction. They never brought me to see him. It would not have mattered. I could hear the whispers through the grate. My father had forgotten, and I was already dead. They are not even memories. Pictures, maybe, of someone else. A young girl holding hands with a grown man. He calls her his little mountain flower, and places one in her ear. They head on over to the market. He shows her one of the fish at the monger's stall. A salmon as long as a mortal's arm, but as fat as a house cat. He lifts her on his shoulders so she can touch it. It wiggles a bit and she squeals, drawing her hand back. The man smiles. It was a conjuration trick. A touch of life. The man tells her she should be careful around the dead, for in SKYRIM the dead never die. Sage advice indeed. So I've heard. There are no shortage of rumours that I am privy to in this foul sewer. I wonder, as Alfred plots the demise of the Greymanes, if he even knows his son is in love with one. I also hear they are Legion pets, loyal to an empire led not by a dragon king, mind you, but high elves. What sweet irony! It brings me no shortage of joy to know my father's namesakes now defile his memory in this fashion. became of her I learned from the guards, who whispered stories from above. She fought for the Nords, they say, against her own kind. She killed hundreds of her own people, watched the genocide of an entire race, all for the love of a man who would never make her his wife. To put it simply, my mother had lost her mind. They say in the end she was killed by the beasts of the wild, having ventured too far from camp. She was killed by beasts, all right, but those that walk on two legs and smell of bad mead. Finally, I imagine it is much like your existence, only with thin wrappings for skin, glow dust for blood, and a skull completely filled with air. In other words, I am corporeal, permanently so. I am not like a familiar or any other flimsy image cast upon this world by a frightened idiot. Now I will admit that when I first discovered the nature of my body there was confusion. For so long I lived an existence full of lacking. I lacked food, I lacked warmth, in more ways than one. As a wisp, there was only one thing I lacked, and it more than made up for the rest. What I lacked was pain. Such a kind, maudlin, and dare I say cloying little sweetheart. You'll make this wisp mother cry a river of ectoplasm. Hopefully you'll drown in it. Aren't you the bright one? You figured out I wasn't an ordinary wisp mother, and you did so without the aid of pictures. Good for you! I cannot say for certain why I am still lucid, whereas others are not. Only that I believe it has something to do with this location. For all my life I wanted vengeance against those that wronged me, and it is that singular focus that brings thought to this one's partial existence. Who is to say what would happen if the object of that enmity, the very descendants of the one I despise, were to leave Whiterun for another hold? Your lust for blood is amusing, mortal. I would very much like to help in nurturing such a very desirable compulsion. Unfortunately, I have not waited countless millennia to have my vengeance handed to me on a dish not yet cold. I have no answer, only a theory. It was near the end of my life. I was starving, filthy, my lips about to drink from the burbling rivers of madness. I was cold, so cold. My clothes were wet, and the frost was flooding in through the pockets of loose stone. It was then that I saw a boy. I cannot be certain if he was even real. He was skipping rocks against the wall, mumbling in a language that was not the common tongue. Somehow I understood. He asked me if I was his mother. When I told him no, he asked me if I wanted to be. And when I woke up the next morning, I was not cold anymore. Possibly. There are many wisps and wisp mothers who float about Skyrim, with only the shades to call children. Is the wisp's chime the sound of weeping for the lost, or a melodic tune meant to attract a new child that she can steal away? I, however, have no desire to raise a litter of brats, and my song is meant only to frighten. Goodbye, Hello. Aren't you the bride? I cannot... For who is to say what would happen if the object of that enmity, the very descent, and yet you seek the forgiveness of the very abomination you seek to destroy? I have no need for your empty apologies, hero. If you think me a monster, then slay me like a monster. Aren't I? For all my... Who is to say what would happen if the object of that enmity, the very descendants of the one I despise, were to leave Whiterun for another hold? You ask me to let go of the rope that sustains me, and trust the darkness below. No, I will clutch the rope tightly and climb closer to the light.
Is someone there?
Is someone there?
Ty? End this little game.
I'll kill you!
There you are.
Can we discuss this?
I'll kill you!
Are you looking for a fight? Let's see who the real woman is here. Just a scratch.
You think you can take me? You won't leave here alive!
Your end draws near.
Someone do something! Ready for that? I'll have you.
Anybody there?
I love a challenge! That's the best you can do. That's all you've got?
You're outmatched.
I can't. Ah!
I have to admit, I'm disappointed.
Greetings. Goodbye, little mortal.
Now, walk among the stars! But you were once man, aye, and as man you said, let me show you the power of Talos Storm Crown, born of the North. where my bread
Daedric invasion,
is
the
long
Alliance war, an army of
winter.
frost trolls, and a witch
I
queen.
breathe
And
now
it's still here.
in royalty and reshape this land which is mine. I do this for you, Red Legions, for I love you. I love.
You must help me. We need to convince my brother to do more for the war effort.
What would you have me do, Hrongar? Your brother is the Jarl. You know I can't question his judgment.
I'm not asking you to defy the Jarl, just to open his eyes. Use subtlety and suggestion to turn his thoughts to the war. You're his steward. He'll listen to you.
Leave me out of your intrigues, Hrongar. If you have something to say to the Jarl, say it with your own tongue.
Take a moment to breathe, friend.
I serve Jarl Balgruuf as steward. Excellent. You've done us a great service. Here is your reward. Enjoy your visit to Dragon's Reach.
May the gods watch over your battles, friend. If it's the war you're referring to, I'm on the side of Whiterun. No doubt General Tullius and his friends in the Empire will tell you that I owe them my loyalty. And perhaps I do. Ulfric Stormcloak would say that I owe my allegiance to the Nord people as they fight for Skyrim's independence. Perhaps this is also true. The day might come when I am forced to draw my sword for one side or the other. But that day has not come yet. No doubt he thought it was the only way to make his point. And also because he knew he could. With good planning and constant vigilance. Even now, my court wizard, Farengar, continues his research into ways we might drive back these terrors. We must also have ample reserves of water to combat the fires that will surely spread after an attack. But our greatest weapon? Courage. For if we cannot kill the beast, we must at least have the tenacity to drive it back. Until brave heroes step forward to destroy these monsters, that is the best we can do. Keep safe.
Come to Dragon's Reach to discuss the ongoing hostilities, like the rest of the great warriors? I believe I am, yes. Technically speaking, of course. The city is also home to a priest, priestess, an alchemist, and I'm sure others who practice. It seems this damnable conflict has claimed everyone's passions of late. Me, I prefer my books and my spells. A prospective student, are you? Well, I'm afraid I'm not much good at teaching. You should try your luck at the College of Winterhold. Sadly, no. My work affords me few opportunities for such an adventure. Perhaps some hero will bring one to Dragon's Reach, like old Olaf one I once did. What a fascinating conversation that would be. You know, if you've got the aptitude, you should join the Mages College in Winterhold.
Need something? I've got my eyes on you. Please keep your weapons sheathed in the Jarl's presence. Mind yourself in front of the Jarl, or we'll have serious problems.